Good morning, sir. Welcome to the work we have done for the course assignment of the semester. Our work is on autonomous control of multi-agent VTOL systems, and I will just be giving a brief introduction of the same. The motivation of the project is to solve a path planning problem where we have multiple agents traversing paths in a constrained environment. And from our literature survey, we found that there are advancements in this field from several top companies. So our problem statement works as follows. We have the problem where we have an environment with a fixed set of goal nodes and aircraft traversing the environment, that is the airspace between these nodes, which are like cities, for instance. So this problem is defined as a Markov decision process (MDP). They are well popular in artificial intelligence, and they are widely used in probabilistic planning. So this consists of a four tuple process model, which is having a set of all possible states S, set of actions, and the probability that action A in a state S at time t will lead to a state S prime at time t plus 1, that is the probability PA. And we also have a reward function, which is a real valued uh, quantity representing immediate reward, and then we have a discount function additionally, which is gamma, which prioritizes the immediate reward over the future rewards. So the policy, which is pi of S to A, is a mapping from state S to the action space A, and this is a solution of the Markov process. The goal of the MDP is to find an optimal policy pi star, so that if it is followed from any initial state, it maximizes the maximum rewards. Multi-agent systems are also used in this problem statement as extension to single agent systems, where we have only one agent traversing the entire uh, environment. So here this complicates the problem because the number of possible actions in the state's action space tend to grow exponentially, and so we will have a exponential number of actions, such as exponent of agents of the actions, that is n power m in this case. So also we'll have this becoming as a moving target problem. So with every time step, the targets will keep changing, and so the best policy of an agent will keep changing with every single time step. So the goal is to control one of many aircraft flying in a given two-dimensional airspace, as we have discussed. The guidance of the aircraft is a sequential decision making problem, and this is, as we have told, is formulated as an MDP. In the process, the action is directly decided from the state, which incorporates all the information, and it decides which action is optimal for the corresponding state. So the objectives here are to achieve the goal state for every aircraft and in the shortest time possible, and secondly, and this is the difficulty, which is that should happen while avoiding all conflicts possible. So for formulating the MDP, we first define the state space, where to choose the optimal action for a single aircraft, the state includes the position, velocity, speed, heading angle, and goal position, and they represent as a tuple. Apart from this, the position and velocity of the other n aircrafts need to be included as well in the state space. Action space, it contains how at every time step the aircraft can decide to change its heading angle. So taking time step 1 second and turn rate magnitude of 2 degrees per second, we define the action space as either a straight heading or a positive or a negative turn rate, which is minus 2 degrees per second or plus 2 degrees per second. At each time step, each aircraft will choose one action. We can also add a change in speed or combinations of speed and angle change in the action space, but it will enlarge our search space, and we want to avoid the complication of that. And then we obtain a dynamical model where the aircraft is in action, and a model of kinematics is used to calculate the state transition, which is some simple physics. And finally, the terminal state is where the conflict of two aircraft is defined, where the distance between two aircraft is less than a minimum separation distance, which is here 6 meters. And so the terminal state of the MTP includes three different type of states: either the distance between two aircraft is less than r minimum, which means collision, or the aircraft flies out of the map, which is a boundary state, which means it is crashing into a wall, or the aircraft reaches the goal, which is what we want. Finally, the reward function is that since the objective is to make aircraft reach the destination or the goal state, right, by avoiding potential conflict, the reward function is 1 if the final state is a goal state, otherwise it will be 0. The solution part and how it is implemented will be discussed soon. Thank you. So I will quickly describe the configuration file here. This config file is a library which is frequently used in other codes which we have developed. So the main class of this config vertiport file is the class config, which we will discuss soon. However, we have added a small function called VTOL station arrangement. This is the, as the name suggests, this is the arrangement of the goal nodes or the stations, and this is determined by a center node, which is represented by center, and it has other nodes arranged around the center, and the arrangement the number of nodes can be changed by changing the angle theta, which is, in this case, if it is 90, it means that there are 4 nodes around the goal node, so around the central node, sorry. So in the class config file, we have defined some basic configurations. For instance, the number of epochs, which is n epochs, is set to 5. The window width and window height, which is settings for the airspace, are also specified here, along with the number of aircrafts. With higher compute power, these can be increased to say up to 10 aircrafts per goal node from where the aircraft start. And then we have epochs, which are like episodes per number of epochs here. So it is like mini epochs, for instance. And then we're also defining G as 9.8, and then we have a scale of 60, which represents the number of meters per pixel. And so here we have defined it as 800 meter pixels of window width, window height. So that means that we would be having about 48,000 meters of distance. And then we define the distance parameters, where the minimum separation is 555 per scale, and the Nmax distance, which means the near mid-air collision distance, is 150 per scale. And these scales are used for the later calculation of reward functions to check the conditions whether the condition satisfied to give the reward, which is in accordance with the condition satisfied. And then we define the initial velocities and minimum and maximum velocities, and these are used when the aircrafts are either in a normal cruise condition with no conflicts, and the minimum and maximum velocities will come into effect when the aircraft are in a turn to avoid collisions. Then we also have defined the heading direction in radians, and then some parameters for the MCT's algorithm, which has been explained later, including the number of simulations for the algorithm, the search depth, which defines the depth of the search tree, and the other two parameters, number of simulations light and search depth light, are for the instances where we would like to run a lighter version of the same algorithm. And the simulate frame defines the number of frames per simulation. So Nmax penalty is the reward function here, which is a negative reward for near mid-air collision penalty. And similarly, we have defined conflict penalty and wall penalty. the goal reward, which is the reward given when an aircraft reaches the goal state, which are randomly stochastically chosen. It is 20. And then we also have some sparse reward defined. Then we define some minimum time interval and maximum time interval, which are used in the aircraft classes file, which is also seen later. Finally, we define the vertical port locations, which is generated using the VTOL station arrangement function described above. Thank you.
Good morning. So after completing the MDP formulation for our problem statement, we decided on using MCTS. So defined is the class MCTS, which takes as input the root node, and we can call best action function on that node and thus perform MCTS. So running inside the loop of number of simulations, we first call tree policy method, which keeps on expanding the current node until it is fully expanded, and then uses the UCT evaluation function to select the best child node and return it. After the expansion has been done, we need to perform rollout. Rollout is essentially using a default policy to keep exploring the tree until terminal state is reached. During this, the reward is computed, and then backpropagate method is called to backpropagate the computed reward through the entire traverse path. This script uses some class definitions that we made. This is a very simple MCTS state and MCTS node definition of class that we got from the help of references, and using this we derived the classes specific to our problem statement of aircraft control. So here the important thing to note is the best child method, wherein we use the UCT function, which has two parts of exploitation and exploration. Coming to the important part of defining the state and node for our MCTS problem, we apart from the states that were mentioned in the report, this state also contains hit wall, conflict, and reach goal Boolean variables, which are self-explanatory. They are necessary to find out when goal has been reached or where terminal node has been reached. Now comes the reward function as explained in the report. Three cases. One is 0 when wall is hit or there is conflict with intruder aircraft. Reward is 1 where goal has been reached, and reward is a discounted function when it is taking normal steps with no conflicts. Next is the function to check if terminal state has been reached or not. Then comes the move function. This is an important function which receives a current node and an action, and it computes the next node. This process is deterministic because we ensured during the state formulation that all necessary information is present to compute the next node given current node and action. This function utilizes the simple kinematics of 2D aircraft that we mentioned in the report. After this, computing the new state, we also do a check for the three important variables of hit wall, conflict, and reach goal. These are some utility functions that were required in some elaborate functions like distance of the aircraft from the goal, distance of aircraft from intruder. After this, we come to the definition of node, wherein the important function to be explained is expand, which uses a random sampling to expand on a current node. Then comes rollout. Now rollout will be called after expansion has been done, and it receives the parameter of search depth, and it keeps on performing exploration until terminal state is reached or we have reached the search depth limit. Then comes back propagation to update the Q and N values of all the nodes that were traversed during the rollout procedure.
So I would be describing the aircraft class.py file, which consists of certain classes that would be imported into the environment file for running the simulations. So these are the certain libraries that we have imported, and this is the config class imported from the config vertiport.py file. So the description of the vertical port is such that we are initializing it with its unique ID and its position in the airspace. It also had the generate interval method, which gives the time interval for the generation of the next aircraft, and the step method, which simply increase the clock counter by one. Then we have the aircraft class, in which we first initialize the aircraft with its unique ID, its position, speed, the direction it is heading to, its velocity in the x and y direction, and then also we are initializing the reward to the aircraft is zero, and the goal function and the goal variables gx and gy. And then we are making the initializing the heading to the goal direction at the initial state. Then we are calling the load config method. So in load config method, we are assigning the parameters with respect to the config file. And similarly, in the step method, we would be assigning the parameters of speed, the direction it should head, the velocity, and its position with respect to the action state. So the aircraft dictionary consists of the is used to store the aircrafts. So how many? So the first the number of eVTOL stores the how many aircrafts are currently en route, and the add method is to add the aircraft to the dictionary. Remove is to remove the aircraft from the dictionary, and the get aircraft by ID is to get the aircraft with respect to its ID.
I will describe now the main file which generates the output of this program. So this is the vertices port agents.py file. Initially we begin this with importing of all the necessary libraries, which include the config file along with the aircraft classes and the multi-aircraft vertiport environment libraries. Along with them we also import the definitions of the MCTS algorithm, which are encapsulated within nodes multi and search multi files. So the main function of this program is the run experiment function. Initially we open a text file which will copy our output and save it at the end of the program run. Then we initialize the parameters such as the epoch as 0, along with all the variables which we can store information in, like the EP returns and conflicts list, which will show information about the aircrafts en route in our program. Number of eVTOLs is defined from the inputs given to the program, which will be present in the configuration file. So in any case, the configuration file can be modified to change the number of aircrafts. So while the epoch is less than our given number of epochs in the configuration file, each epoch is starting with a done variable set as false, which is boolean, along with an epoch time step and epoch reward set to 0. So the environment variable library defines the last observation and ID list, which contains information about the previous observation of every aircraft, and it is also a dictionary. So the action is initially defined as a 1 for every aircraft, and this will change along with the program run where the aircraft start moving. Information is none at present, since nothing is being appended to it, and near end is also set to false. So while the done variable is set to false, that is while it is not done, every epoch is having a time step, which is epoch time step. So there's a decision made for every 5 time steps, that is the action is reset after every 5 time steps, and the action is followed for the next 5 time steps. So we record a time before this action is followed, and we also record the number of existing aircraft which obtained from the last observation variable. The action is set to 1 initially, and so for each of these actions we iterate through the number of existing aircrafts. We have where the state of every aircraft is set using the multi-aircraft state function from the MCTS code, and as well as route, and using these we define the MCTS variable. Now if the aircraft is close to another aircraft, in that case we would require a larger search tree, and hence we would be using the full number of simulations. As I've explained above, this is used for more complicated simulations. Otherwise, since our aircrafts are not facing any conflicts, it is very straightforward, and we will use the number of simulations light version in this case. And then we define the action of this aircraft using the best node function in the search multi algorithm. And then we also define the action by id as given here, using the previous action as a reference. And then we record a time after the action has occurred, and then if the number of existing aircraft is present in time dictionary, which we have defined above, then we append the time difference between the time after and time before to the reference aircraft. Otherwise, we create a new entry for this num existing aircraft in time dictionary. Later, we use the environment step function to define the observation id list, and to create the reward and done variables are updated. The epoch reward is now being updated with additional reward generated here, and last observation is now taking over as the current observation. Sorry, it's the other way around. And after that, the epoch time step is now incremented by 1 since we have finished one time step. So after we have finished about 100 epochs time steps, then in that case we will print a bit of output where we print the number of conflicts, total aircraft generated. All of these have been stored inside our defined variables previously. Number of goal aircraft and number of mid-air collisions NMACs, and the current aircraft en route. And later we now update our variables, the list which store information about the current en route aircraft, which is the EP returns, and the conflicts list, which stores the information about the conflicts. The time list also stores the values of time dictionary, and then we close the environment and we close the text file which was saving the output. Now this main function is being called using the function which is given here, the run experiment function, which is the main method of this class. It is being called using a initial main function, whereby we have a argument parser which parses the input arguments as a seed or a save path, and from there the config file is being modified, whereby we generate a random seed, and the environment is set using the multi-aircraft environment using this randomly generated seed. Then we call the run experiment function, which will run the experiment for us and give us the output. Let me show now the sample of the output file. You might have got a flavor of it from this code snippet where you have seen every single print message. So this is a sample of the output file which we have generated for every 100 time steps. So here you can see the number of conflicts and total aircraft generated are also present here, and also current aircraft en route along with the near mid-air collisions, and we can see how these are being updated with every single time step, and how the algorithm is learning using our heuristic search methods. So this was all about the project we have done. Thank you very much.